Most people think that the key to success is doing more marketing, more sales, more networking. What if I told you that the keys to success might actually be in indulging more and hustling less? In this video, we're going to unlock how indulging in what really matters can unlock your success in your business and get you to thrive and to create the life you've always dreamed of. So stick with me, because this mindset shift could really change everything for you. We've all heard the advice, market yourself daily, grind it out, make sure you're making contacts every day, growing your audience, growing the people that you know, reaching out, all these things that we're supposed to do. And you try to do it because, you're given the advice, you've got to put on your oxygen mask first, you've got to look after yourself, you've got to look after your business, and you've got to do these things to keep growing your business. And so it makes sense and you do it, but something feels off. And for some reason, it's not working for you. You're doing the tasks, but you feel like you're in survival mode. Like you really need that money to come in. You really need to make those contacts. And with that energy behind you, everything kind of falls flat and you can't stick with it and you can't understand why, because you know you need to. And most people approach business like this because they feel they need to. Like, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that you've got to put yourself out there. It makes sense that you've got to do the actions. It makes sense that you have to expand your network. You have to market yourself. You've probably looked into marketing courses or, marketing YouTube channels or something, and you understand the fundamentals and that you have to do these things. So why isn't it working for you? What is off? Where is the problem? And the advice itself, it isn't wrong, but it's just that it's coming from the outside in and it doesn't really stick. It's not taking into account the whole picture and the whole situation that you need to really break through and be the success that you're destined to be. I remember a few years back being in a mastermind, and this was in a quieter time in my business. I hadn't grown to where I am now, and I was starting to go into, perhaps more than starting, I was in survival mode. So we were given this challenge and we had to do all these contacts every day and do these certain sort of posts with a certain sort of structure, that has the hook that people can relate to and agitate the problem and provide the solution and doing all the steps. And yet somehow it didn't work for me at the time. And in hindsight, I understand why. Sometimes it's not what you're doing, but the energy that you have behind it. And actually the way that you do it and the creativity and the messaging and everything shifts when your mindset is right. And there is a way of doing the tasks that you need to do, but doing it from a place that feels indulgent, that feels that you get to do these things, where your creativity opens up and that you get to share parts of yourself and say things that you actually care about, and it doesn't feel contrived. It doesn't feel like a message that you're supposed to say because you're agitating the problem and speaking to your ideal avatar and doing these things that don't feel authentic to you. So what if instead of, for example, that challenge, what if instead of having, I'm going to spend the first hour marketing myself because I have to put my oxygen mask on, what if instead you reframed, I'm going to spend the first hour of my day getting to focus on me and making my dream and my vision come true? How does that feel? It might be the same task that you end up doing, but you're coming at it from a place of holding a vision for yourself and being excited for the future and believing that you will get there and not being in survival mode as you do it. And you'll find that the energy and the way you deliver things and the things that you have to say in your marketing and the way that you reach out to people all shifts by thinking of it as an indulgence. And there isn't really any reason to think that you need to spend a lot more time doing things. Because if you look at people like Tim Ferriss with his 4-hour work week, or Leonie Dawson, who works 10 hours a week. There's many other entrepreneurs. The income that you can earn from your business doesn't have to depend on the amount of hours you work, because if you do the things that matter, that move the needle, that grow your business over time, and you're sharing messages that matter to you, and you have products to sell, why do you necessarily have to spend hours and hours? If you set up the infrastructure and you have a passion and you work with a long-term vision, then you just do the needle moving activities. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work hours and hours and hours forever. So that's all well and good, but how do you shift that mindset? I'm going to share a few things that I do to help with that. One is in the morning, I journal. And I didn't used to like journaling. Let me tell you, I used to have a bit of a block around journaling, but I read The Artist's Way and something about it resonated. And I liked the idea of writing 3 pages of stream of consciousness. And sometimes what's on the page is quite good and sometimes it's nothing impressive. But either way, it clears the channel and it opens your creativity to just have gotten the junk out or gotten the gold out, depending on where you're at on any given day. It takes the pressure off to just think 3 pages. It can be anything. It can be a to-do list. Sometimes I've got a to-do list. Sometimes it's a sook fest. Sometimes it's poetry. Sometimes it's a song. Sometimes it's here's another line, here's another line. But that creates clarity for me. And the other thing that I've really done is I've done hypnosis, and that was huge. And basically, that shifts your mind. When your mind is anxious, and it doesn't matter whether you're making lots of money or not making lots of money, or if you're on the go, sometimes no matter how your life looks externally, people can still be in survival mode. And I didn't think I was. I thought I was doing okay, but I knew I had some mind shift blocks that I wanted to shift, and I went to get hypnosis done. And I've got to say, it really works. So if you need help with that, I've got a link in the description where you can get a meditation that I've made based on what I've learned. And I'm happy to give that to you for free. So check that out. And it is so important because what you do is you shrink the parts of you calm down the parts of your mind that get anxious, and you shrink the attention on the things, on the limiting beliefs, and you redirect them to beliefs that will actually serve you. And once you do that, you can get the rest of this in order. And then it's a matter of prioritizing your dream, having a vision for the future, holding that vision, being excited about the vision, and just believing that it will come true. And when you believe that it will come true, those daily tasks are an indulgence, and you just do them with a completely different mindset. So go ahead, get the meditation, download it, let me know how you go. And if you got value out of this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Stay fearless, hit subscribe, and let's dive into the next episode.